Guys, Deluded Guna, YouTube's N'Golo Kante, Mr. Sauce on Spill, word to K-Trap. Yeah, man, one of you got at me on Facebook in the chats and asked me, do I have any idols or people I look up to specifically in regards to this venture I have, making YouTube videos? It's a question I've ignored all the time. I can't lie to you guys. I'll be honest with you guys. It's not the first time I've seen that. I've been ignoring it because I don't know how to answer it, and I'm going to try now. I don't believe in idols first and foremost. There's people I can look to for inspiration, look to for advice, see how they did certain things and how I can do it better, or if I can follow it, draw some sort of inspiration. But I don't aspire to be like anyone. I don't idolize anyone. The key term idolize, like actual idolize. I don't believe you should do that to any man. Like no one's better than me, right? Whether a man has 20 million pounds or more, or he's unfortunately, if a man's homeless and got less than nothing, no one is better than anyone. You're not better than your fellow man, and that's something I've been taught throughout my whole life. So yeah, I don't believe in the idol thing. But enough with that waffling. I'd say there are a couple. I'll start off with the most obvious. I'm going to say firstly, my dad, the man who taught me how to kick a football, how to ride a bike, how to tie my lace, how to throw a fist, how to stand up for myself, all these basic things. And sadly, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We live in a day and age where a lot of dads aren't around, and sometimes I need to pick my words carefully, but predominantly Black African and Black Caribbeans, I don't want to say there's a problem, but it is, that stereotype is portrayed in the media, and that is, some of it is true. So yeah, my dad, I've always known where my dad is, and he's always been there to help me. I mean, yeah, you get where I'm going with that. So him. I'd say my two granddads as well. They showed courage to come to this country. If in case anyone doesn't understand what I'm saying, last time I checked, I wasn't blue. I'm black. Like, I'm black and proud. One came from Barbados, one came from Jamaica. They both showed courage to leave their worlds and come here and make a new world in a completely different country at a time where, I'm not going to sugarcoat this again, literally you can see signs saying no cats, no dogs, no niggas. Forgive me for my language. Again, these are times when people are other parties are literally getting onto Labour Party for saying, do you want to live next to a black person? Don't vote for Labour. These are the sort of things that went through it. And so to see them show this courage, my forefathers to show this courage and things like that, to enable a foundation to be laid, work for how many years, to enable my parents to obviously be born and then me to be in this position, privileged enough, that takes real courage. And that's not just going for me, that's going for a lot of descendants of immigrants, and they are the facts. My uncle Glenn, rest in peace. He was a big footballing man, a big influence on football in me as well. He actually got me a couple trials, and unfortunately I didn't get in. But yeah, man, shout out to him. Rest in peace. God bless his soul, and God bless my two granddads' souls as well. And God bless if you've got any loved ones that are gone, man. 'Cause I know it feels. But yeah, away from obviously my mother as well. Like my mother, the main one. My mother, I wouldn't be here without a mother. You wouldn't be here without a mother. The world wouldn't be there without a mother. Any successful story a man has done, if you go and look far enough, barring the odd few, there's a successful mother or wife behind that. So you have to shout out women in that one. So shout out to my mother, man. She's the greatest. So yeah, away from the family thing, Muhammad Ali. You always see me when I bring out the personal messages. You always see me say Muhammad Ali. You always see Muhammad Ali as in the thumbnails. Muhammad Ali, because again, young, black and fly, in a time when it was bad enough to be black, much less young, cocky, black and fly. That's what I like about him. He was a revolutionary in the sense that he stood up for people. Even when you go and look at his stories when he went to schools in Brixton, he made people feel like someone, man. Ali Boumbaye, just go and do your research. And on top of that, there's fights with Fraser and things where he's been scared to fight them, but he's overcome fear, man. And he's arguably the greatest sportsman in my opinion to ever walk the earth. So Muhammad Ali, following on from the boxing trend, AJ Joshua, for different reasons. I mean, you wouldn't know this guy's been on remand in prison and done certain things in his life because he's reinvented himself. It took time, it took effort, but he reinvented himself. I really like how he handles himself. So Anthony Joshua, Giggs, the rapper Giggs, if anyone doesn't know, of course, because everybody tried to shut this guy down. They tried everything, but still he made a way and changed his reality and was one of the first to bust through the door of this gangster British rap stuff, however you want to call it. When a time when this was linked, now it's all cool and people class anything as grime, and now it's all cool to listen to certain music. I grew up and went to a school where a time when they were saying, if you listen to this music, you are stabbing people and you're doing certain things, and the stop and search thing, that was all gazy. But that's a sort of part of life we don't need to talk about in Deluded Guna. So Giggs is there. For the same logic, Stormzy's there. Another one who changed his realities, went from being broke and hard times and poor and changed his reality, and now look what he's doing. This guy was here, I've watched interviews, he said to even go for a couple of meetings, he had to rob out of a shop at Adidas Tracky. I rate that. I don't rate the thieving, of course not, but I rate the come up, I'm saying. They's got to be there. Maya Jama's got to be there, his girlfriend, for the same logic. She's been on her thing from day, grinded from day, and you get out what you put in, so I can't not admire that. Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, type him in on Google. He'll never be on Ali's level, but he's someone I really look up to, man. Like, just type him in, innit? I really don't want to spoil that for you. So just type him in. If you're a guy like me, you'll understand what he does for you. If not, fair play. I'm going to say Poet. Now, you've seen him grinded for time on YouTube when he used to do them Funny Boy skits where you see him on the floor and just parody stuff. But behind all of that is a very serious businessman who is really really knows, I don't even know the words, really knows his surroundings, very in touch with reality, and he says certain things like, I just like his come up in it, so he's got to be there. Reggie Yates as well, man, he continues to reinvent himself and push the norms, and again, doesn't show fear. Man went to Russia, went in one of them mad bits in Russia to do an interview about racist Nazis and them things there. Reggie Yates got to be there. You always hear me talk about them. The King, Sir Alex Ferguson, the King, Arsene Wenger, and the Prince, Jose. Now, I don't need to get into specifics as to why I like them, but in short, Jose and Fergie and Arsene Wenger, because they showed courage, they reinvented themselves. They're trailblazers. Jose the same, because he knows he's not liked and he feeds upon that. Pep, because he reinvents himself, constantly changes things, constantly gets out his comfort zone. That's why I've got him there personally, and that's why I look up to him and I read a lot of Pep Guardiola books, and I can't understand people say he's a failure and stuff. Nelson Mandela, because I've learned from him never to lose hope, never to lose faith. This guy was in prison for over 20 years. He's come out and become prime minister. He's fought and reinvented himself and fought through hardships and fought for his people. He's got to be there. Napoleon, now the army leader or whatever he was, Napoleon, he's a strategic. I love the strategic approach he took to a lot of his wars, how he handled his men as well. I like him for that. Malcolm X, again reinvented himself, and he's someone I look up to because, again, with showing fear, not showing fear, and having to show courage and them thing there. Martin Luther King as well, Fred Hampton the same. I'm going to shock a few, but David Cameron, David Cameron and Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill's cool, but David Cameron, on the sense that I don't necessarily like David Cameron. He's there calling Mandela a terrorist and them thing there. But when he speaks in a press conference and things like that when he was PM, regardless of whether you like him or not, you listen. Like, he's able to capture the viewer, able to entice the viewer, arouse the imagination of the viewer. Now, obviously, I make YouTube, and obviously, I speak to you guys. So, naturally, you can see why I like that. So, there's that. I'm going to say Skepta. Same reasons as Giggs as well, to a degree. But more so the fact that I've seen a man grind. Like, he used to come to I went Winchmore. He used to come to my school, hand out free bags, doing freestyles. Now he's at fashion shows and the rest of it. So he's got to be there. There's a couple others, but these are the ones I just thought of memory that I could add. And away from that, 50 Cent, man. First mixtape, first album I bought, Get Rich or Die Trying. And he went for everyone in the game, similar to how I went for everyone in the game. Everyone's got a problem, they can shut the hell up. I'm the best at this. Like 50 came with that approach. Young Dolph for the same reasons as well. Those of you that listen to Young Dolph know why I'm saying that. There's a couple others as well. Michael Jackson as well. There's a couple others. There's a lot of others. But I'm not going to go into more detail. If you want me to talk about others, I will. If you want me to talk about my favourite music and these things, I will. You lot always ask me these things. But these are just some of the people that I draw inspiration with and try and take them all together and make the perfect cocktail to give you guys the best content and deliver the best content in the best way I can. And on that note, I'm signing out. Guys, Deluded Gooner, get in the comments, subscribe, do the rest of it. I'm out.